Welcome in, everyone. I wanted to make a fun video here as a team reveal style, but in the spirit of NRL Fantasy and having the most fun when watching your teams play, your favorite players play. I wanted to come up with a team that I'd enjoy watching the most. They're the highest chance of breaking out and scoring a ton, apart from not being able to have Cleary in there. But we're going against the grain on that one, because that's the point of this team is watching your favorite players and having good fun with it. Let's just say you're a Sharks fan and you want to go for Nicho Hynes. So Hynes is in there instead of Cleary. But the guys that have the most chance of having tremendous value, but they also come with some risk as well. And there are a few guys in this team that I wanted to make sure I had in there, and that I did have to muck around with going a little bit lower in certain prices in certain positions. So if you're enjoying this style of video, you can see all the different creators out there are going through players at the moment, and I am too, as you've just seen the hooking position and also the mids position. And just wanted to throw something fun in there as a little bit of a, kind of how a team structure could look like, especially going a little bit heavier in different positions. And if we're going the fun team, that means we have to have cash in the wing fullbacks and the centers, because they're a little bit more up and down. There's a little bit more craziness that can happen, per game. We want guys that have chance at hundreds, as I said, in this squad. And guys, before we get into this any further, I am doing a little bit of a giveaway, which is going to be fun. If you join the private group by the 6th of February, so the back end of next week, I'm giving away two $25 credits to be used for next year, or to upgrade a certain tier that you want to be in the private group. So I'm giving away 2 times $25 credits for the private group there. You have to be signed up and in by that time on the 6th of Feb, and then you're in the running to win those two vouchers there. So all the info is in the description for the private group. If you're interested, there's competitions, as you're seeing here, giving money away at different times throughout the season, different competitions with overall, with head-to-head. It's going to be awesome fun, so jump in there and check that out. But in terms of our team, my number one first picked player was Latrell Mitchell. I think that period, that month last year where he was absolutely dominant, doing everything on the park, that's the stuff that I don't want to miss when I have my fun fantasy side. And I think a lot of people should probably play this way. There's a lot of upside guys here. There's a lot of players that can get you ahead early, and then you can make trades accordingly. And that's how we're going to roll with it. So Latrell Mitchell, Kalen Ponga, Ryan Papenhuyzen, Herbie Farnworth, and Payne Haas. They were the first 5 picked in this side, followed by Munster and then Nicho Hynes. And I had to spend all that money up front, and obviously you have to have Terrell May as well. But with Payne Haas, it's tremendous upside each and every week. Every time he runs a footy, it's scary, so he has to be in the side, and he's the vice captain. Latrell, I think, has 100 upside, so he becomes the captain, and we're going to live by the skin of our teeth, that's for sure. Watching that one. Kalen Ponga, 3rd picked. Upside is crazy, obviously, with the goal kicking. If the Knights are on, it's some of the most fun footy you'll watch, with Kalen going nuts, so he has to be in there. Of course, Pappy, my favourite player, has to be in there. I would have had Chester in there as well, but he's injured. Sad. So Pappy comes in with a nice cheap price at $530 again, after some injury-affected games and years. To see him score so well in that final series last year, get one of those tries where he zips around the outside, that's the stuff that I'm here for, and that's why Pappy will be getting picked in this side. Can someone please screen share this one and see how, let's just say you adjusted the cheapies and all these guys got starts, how they would go in the first few rounds. I think that'd be super fun as well to track that just by going through sheer fun. All right, Farnworth in next. He scored 100 last year. Every time he runs a footy, it's tackle bust galore, so he has to be in the side there as our expensive centre. And then moving to the halves, Munster. We know he has tremendous upside in fantasy, and when he runs a footy, when he scores tries freakishly, you want to be a part of that. Nicho Hynes as well. When the Sharks get a roll, he is spectacular viewing. Again, decided for him over Cleary just to go against the grain in the fun team. Either one of those guys, preferably both, but I can't have both with the salary cap of $10 million. For our edges, I've gone with Burbo and Kelma Tuolangi. With Burbo, I think that he has breakout potential if he can stay on that edge. In a fun team, him and his brother. Unfortunately, Tommy Turbo had to be omitted. I was like, I wanted Latrell, Ponga, and Turbo, but you can't have Pap as well and have all those guys. There's too much cash in the one position. I've already got plenty in there. So, yeah, Turbo unfortunately couldn't make it, but Burbo had to go in there. If Jake wasn't such a tackle bot, then he could go in there as well. But Burbo can score tries and, yeah, has that frame about him, which will be good fun. And Kelma, he started running the footy plenty last year, and he's one of those guys that could break out plenty, but could also not get the minutes. So, unsure at this point. Big Red. All I want to do in this side is see him play and go, come on, Big Red, get over the line. That's where we're at with Corey. He could have been omitted from the side just for that awkward price, but he could be a gun. He could go 50 plus, as you saw from my mid-tier video and the prices. So Corey, Big Red, just because I want to say Big Red. And to have at least one Raider, Stickies Warriors, and the back and forth with them too and not getting along had to be in the side. Payne Haas, as I said, incredible. Terrell May, same deal. You got to watch him. I love watching him play. Mamazelis, had to go cheap in hooker. Harry Grant was the guy I did have in there when I first started, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. Too much cash. So I'm going cheap at hooker with less upside in the position. Obviously, the crazy ups and downs that fullback and centre have, along with half, and then a couple of these mids, had to put the cash in there. So Mamazelis gets the job done. Hopefully, big minutes, can score good points, as we saw. Same with Blake Moser. If he starts, he has a lot of attacking flair. So I'd be super excited by that. I almost went for Tom Starling. It would have been Starling or Horsburgh just to have the one Raider if he was to start, but wasn't to be. And moving on to our interchange, Rob Toya, youngster, going to be fun to watch. Yongi, sorry. Now I'm learning how to say it. If he's there, awesome. Can't wait for that. Jackson Purdue, young, exciting outside back for the Cows. Tom Amone, coming back from the Super League, has improved out of side apparently, so if he gets a bench spot, that'll be fun viewing. Ty Munro, superstar youngster. Royce Hunt, Royce the choice. You know you're going to get some type of flair with him for 25 minutes, whatever it's going to be. He could score a try and get you a 50 and get you off to a good start. And then I unfortunately only had 239k. So Mitch Woods had to come in for the Dogs. If we do have an injury in the Dogs halves, then Mr. Woodsy is going to come in, and he has the most upside out of all the halves and all the cheapies at 230k. So he had to go into that side there and fill that roster spot, which is more of a hit and hope. And yeah, if we were to make this side in a couple of weeks' time, you could look at that and go, oh, there's maybe a cheapie that does pop up. So let me know your thoughts on this one, guys. I want to make it short and sweet and a bit of fun. Heading into the earlier part of this preseason, we've done a lot of analysing players, but I think it's really, really cool to jump in and have a muck around with players you really like to watch and guys you would hate to sit behind the couch looking through your, in between your fingers there, half watching the game or not wanting to listen to Latrell make, 4 tackle busts, an offload, and then get down the other end of the park and put on a try assist after, an offload try assist and then kick the goal for a nice 30-point, outing in 5 minutes. So that's the kind of stuff that you want to avoid. And I think this is a team which has that ability to go nuts and is a squad that has value as well. So just really wanted to show that there's multiple ways to make teams, and this is one of them. A bit more fullback heavy. And in a few other videos, I'm going to show different strategies where you spend a lot of money up top in the mids and the hookers. There's going to be one where we're going to spend some money in halves and edges and then find some value in other position. There'll be one as well where we look at sort of centers and putting some cash into there and kind of just locking and loading those centers and not having to trade, along with some fullback money, Turbo and these types of guys getting a bait, and different strategies like that, just so you can have a look at it. We're going to continue to put the same cheapies and stuff like that in that we think might get spots right now, but that's going to be a good way to help you guys, I think, find out, instead of doing a million drafts yourself and trying to work it out, is I can kind of show you how it may look and where you're going to have some benefits. If you spend money in certain positions, if you're balanced, whatever it is, you can have all different options. where you're going to be, where it's going to help you and where it's going to hinder you, and where you need to look in the first sort of, round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in as you build that cash reserves and increase your team value, feeding money into those positions. So I think those videos are going to be helpful. Let me know if you like this one and if that's a team you would be interested in starting with and would help you enjoy fantasy even more, watching these types of players. If it is, that'd be awesome. Love to see you comment down below. And if you haven't checked out the podcast stuff yet, as I said, they keep coming out about 4 hours earlier, 3 to 4 hours early compared to the videos. So please do check that out. I'm trying to grow that, and make sure you do subscribe and follow both of those different types of medium. I appreciate you being here, guys, and we'll catch you in that next video.